Picture this. You're living in a thriving city with advanced infrastructure, sophisticated arts, and a booming economy. Your life is comfortable, your future seems bright. But what if I told you that this isn't a modern metropolis, but an ancient civilization that vanished without a trace? You see, while we all learn about the wonders of ancient Egypt and Rome, there's a forgotten superpower that rivals them all, the Indus Valley Civilization. And trust me, once you hear their story, you'll never look at history the same way again. But here's the thing. The Indus Valley Civilization didn't just disappear. They left behind a mystery that has baffled archaeologists and historians for centuries. A mystery of lost knowledge, untold stories, and a script that no one can decipher. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through time, to uncover the rise and shocking fall of the ancient world's forgotten superpower. A journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about the past, and reveal the secrets of a civilization that vanished into the sands of time. Let's set the stage. The year is 2600 BCE, and in the fertile floodplains of the Indus River, a new civilization is taking shape, in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. It was a time of great change and innovation, as small farming villages began to coalesce into something much grander. At first, these settlements were fairly modest, clusters of mud brick houses along the banks of the Indus River. But as the centuries passed, they grew in size and complexity. By 2500 BCE, the Indus Valley Civilization had emerged as a major power, with large cities, advanced infrastructure, and a thriving economy. The largest of these cities were Mohenjo Daro and Harappa, which were home to tens of thousands of people at their peak. These were no mere villages, but planned urban centers with a level of sophistication that was unheard of at the time. The streets were laid out in a grid pattern, with main avenues up to 30 feet wide and smaller side lanes for residential areas. The houses were built of uniform mud bricks, with flat roofs and indoor plumbing. Yes, you heard that right, the Indus Valley Civilization had toilets and sewage systems over 4,000 years ago. But perhaps the most impressive feat of Indus Valley engineering was their water management. The cities were built around a complex system of wells, reservoirs, and canals that provided a steady supply of fresh water for drinking, bathing, and irrigation. This allowed the civilization to thrive in a region that was prone to both floods and droughts. It's hard to overstate just how advanced the Indus Valley Civilization was for its time. While other ancient societies were still figuring out basic farming and pottery, the Indus Valley people were building cities that rivaled those of the modern world. They had a system of standardized weights and measures, suggesting a high level of trade and commerce. They had public baths and granaries, indicating a strong central government and social organization. In short, the Indus Valley Civilization was a superpower of the ancient world, with a level of sophistication and achievement that wouldn't be seen again for thousands of years. But what's even more remarkable is how little we know about them, and how much of their story remains lost to history. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Indus Valley Civilization is their artistry. From the tiniest beads to the largest sculptures, the Indus Valley people had a keen eye for beauty and a mastery of material culture. Take, for example, the famous dancing girl statue from Mohenjo Daro. Standing just over 4 inches tall, this bronze figurine depicts a naked woman with a confident posture and intricate jewelry. The level of detail and naturalism in the figure is stunning, from the curves of her body to the braids in her hair. It's a masterpiece of bronze casting that wouldn't be matched for centuries. But the dancing girl is just the tip of the iceberg. The Indus Valley Civilization produced a dizzying array of arts and crafts, from pottery and textiles to stone carvings and metalwork. One of their most distinctive art forms was the seal. These were small, square stones carved with intricate designs and inscriptions in the Indus script. The seals were used for everything from personal signatures to trade markers, and they offer a tantalizing glimpse into the symbols and beliefs of the Indus Valley people. The designs on the seals are incredibly varied and complex. Some depict animals like bulls, elephants, and crocodiles, while others show mythical creatures like unicorns and three-headed beasts. Some seals have geometric patterns or floral motifs, while others bear the mysterious Indus script, which remains undeciphered to this day. Speaking of the script, it's one of the most intriguing aspects of Indus Valley art. Found on seals, pottery, and even weapons, the script consists of several hundred distinct symbols, some of which resemble objects like fish, jars, and bows. Despite decades of analysis, however, no one has been able to crack the code of the Indus script. But the Indus Valley people weren't just skilled in the visual arts, they were also master craftsmen. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of a thriving bead-making industry, with workshops producing everything from simple clay beads to intricate designs in gold, silver, and semi-precious stones. The Indus Valley people were also skilled in metallurgy, creating sophisticated tools and weapons in copper, bronze, and even a rare nickel-copper alloy. Perhaps the most impressive example of Indus Valley craftsmanship, however, is their system of standardized weights and measures. Archaeologists have found numerous stone cubes, ranging in size from a few grams to over 10 kilograms, that were used as weights for trade and commerce. These weights are incredibly precise, with some varying by less than a gram across multiple samples. The Indus Valley weights follow a strict binary system, with each weight being double the size of the one before it. This allowed for incredibly precise measurements of mass and volume, essential for trade and taxation. In fact, the Indus Valley system was so accurate that it was comparable to the imperial weights used in British India in the 19th century. This level of standardization suggests a high degree of centralized control and social organization. It also hints at the vast trade networks of the Indus Valley Civilization, which stretched from the Himalayas to the Arabian Sea. So the next time you marvel at a piece of ancient art or puzzle over an unsolved script, remember the Indus Valley Civilization. They may be a forgotten chapter in human history, but their legacy of artistic achievement and technical skill continues to inspire and amaze us to this day. Now, let's dive deeper into one of the biggest mysteries of the Indus Valley Civilization, the undeciphered script. Imagine you're an archaeologist, digging through the ruins of Mohenjo Daro. You uncover a small stone seal, no bigger than a postage stamp. But as you brush away the dirt, you realize that this is no ordinary find. The seal is covered in strange symbols, unlike anything you've seen before. This is the Indus script, and it's one of the greatest puzzles in archaeology. Found on thousands of artifacts across the Indus Valley, the script consists of over 400 distinct symbols. Some look like animals or plants, while others are more abstract shapes and lines. But despite decades of effort, no one has been able to decipher the script. It's not for lack of trying. Scholars have compared the symbols to everything from ancient Chinese to Easter Island glyphs. They've used computer algorithms to analyze patterns and frequencies. They've even looked for clues in the placement and context of the inscriptions. But so far, the Indus script remains a mystery. We don't know if it represents a spoken language, or if it's a system of religious or political symbols. We don't know if it should be read left to right, right to left, or something else entirely. And we don't know what insights it might hold about Indus Valley culture, beliefs, or daily life. That hasn't stopped people from trying, though. Some of the most intriguing attempts to crack the code have come from unexpected places. For example, in the 1960s, a computer scientist named Asko Parpala used punch cards and early IBM computers to analyze the frequency and distribution of Indus symbols. His work laid the foundation for modern computational approaches to the script. More recently, some researchers have suggested that the Indus script may be linked to the Dravidian language family, which includes modern-day Tamil and Telugu. This theory is based on similarities between Indus symbols and early Dravidian cave inscriptions. If true, it would be a major breakthrough, connecting the Indus Valley Civilization to the later cultures of South India. But for now, the Indus script remains an enigma, a tantalizing clue to a lost world, waiting to be deciphered. And in a way, that's part of what makes the Indus Valley Civilization so fascinating. It's a reminder that even the greatest human achievements can be lost to time, and that the past still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. So the next time you see a strange symbol or undeciphered text, think of the Indus script. And remember that every mystery is an invitation to explore, to question, and to keep searching for the truth. But the greatest mystery of the Indus Valley Civilization is not its undeciphered script or its advanced technology. It's the civilization's sudden and haunting disappearance. Around 1900 BCE, after nearly 1,000 years of growth and prosperity, the great cities of the Indus Valley fell silent. Mohenjo Daro and Harappa were abandoned, their streets and houses left to crumble into dust. The distinctive arts and crafts of the Indus Valley vanished, as if wiped clean from the earth. And the people themselves disappeared, leaving no trace of where they went or why. For decades, archaeologists have puzzled over this abrupt collapse. What could have caused a civilization so advanced, so resilient, to disappear so completely? There are many theories, each more intriguing than the last. One theory points to climate change. Around 1900 BCE, the Indus Valley region experienced a dramatic shift in weather patterns. Monsoon rains became less reliable and droughts became more frequent. This would have been catastrophic for an agricultural society like the Indus Valley Civilization, which depended on regular flooding to irrigate its crops. There is evidence to support this theory. Geological studies have shown changes in river courses and soil composition around this time, suggesting a shift towards a drier, harsher climate. And archaeological evidence shows a gradual decline in the size and number of settlements leading up to the final collapse. But climate change alone may not explain the complete disappearance of the Indus Valley Civilization. That's where another theory comes in: invasion. For many years, scholars believed that the Indus Valley Civilization was conquered by invading Aryan tribes from Central Asia. This theory was based on linguistic and cultural similarities between the Indus Valley and later Hindu societies, as well as references to battles and conquests in ancient Sanskrit texts. However, this theory has fallen out of favor in recent decades. Archaeologists have found little evidence of widespread destruction or foreign infiltration in Indus Valley cities. And genetic studies have suggested that the Aryan migration may have happened much later, after the collapse of the Indus Valley Civilization. So if not invasion, what else could have caused the collapse? One intriguing theory points to disease. With dense urban populations and close contact with animals, the Indus Valley cities would have been prime breeding grounds for infectious diseases. A pandemic, perhaps similar to the Black Death that devastated medieval Europe, could have swept through the civilization, decimating the population and causing social breakdown. There is some evidence to support this theory. Archaeologists have found mass graves at some Indus Valley sites, suggesting episodes of widespread death. And some scholars have pointed to references to disease and suffering in ancient texts as possible clues to a lost pandemic. But perhaps the most compelling theory for the collapse of the Indus Valley Civilization is also the most tragic: infrastructure failure. Remember those advanced water systems that made the Indus Valley cities so remarkable? Well, it turns out they may have also been their greatest vulnerability. Over time, the constant flow of water through the city's canals and sewers would have caused silt and debris to build up. Without regular maintenance and repair, these systems would have become clogged and ineffective. And if the monsoon rains failed, as they seem to have done around 1900 BCE, the entire system could have collapsed. Imagine the consequences: streets flooded with sewage, reservoirs run dry, crops withering in the fields. In such conditions, even the most advanced civilization would struggle to survive. And once the infrastructure failed, it would have set off a chain reaction of disaster. Disease would have spread through the crowded, unsanitary cities. Trade would have broken down as the great roads and ports of the Indus Valley fell into disrepair. And without a functioning government or social structure, the people of the Indus Valley would have been left to fend for themselves. In the end, perhaps it was a perfect storm of factors: climate change, disease, infrastructure failure, that brought the Indus Valley Civilization to its knees. And once the cities were abandoned and the people scattered, the memory of this great civilization would have faded like a half-remembered dream. It's a haunting thought to imagine a society so advanced, so vibrant, vanishing into the sands of time. But it's also a reminder of the fragility of human achievement and the ever-present shadow of collapse that hangs over even the greatest of civilizations. If you have another theory on the sudden collapse of Indus Valley Civilization, please give us your thoughts below in the comment sections. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the rise and fall of the Indus Valley Civilization. I hope that their story has inspired you as it has inspired me to never stop wondering, never stop questioning, and never stop seeking the truth, wherever it may lead us. See you on another trip with a journey through time.